And welcome guys to another little tutorial. Now in this video we are going to be doing something with bullets. Little bullets shooting out and everything else because there's a few ways to doing it. Now the bullets that I'm using right now use a few things. I use a different kind of shape, imported from Blender. Okay, so it's not really a spear, but it's more of like a triangle. It's an octobus spear or something like that. It's got a lot less vertices and stuff like that. So the next component that I have is spear collider, which is very small. Okay, and this is pretty much my bullet that I shoot out. Now it doesn't look like much, and you're like, well, this doesn't look like a bullet or a cannonball or whatever you want to call it. Well, the thing about it is, when you're not going to ever be really close, you're going to be like this far away. So it makes no sense to have a huge amount of polygons to make it look pretty when you're this far away, or when something's going like jump, 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 flying past really quickly, because that's how bullets work. I mean, come on, right? So it makes absolutely no sense to me why it should be this big old vertice and triangulated thing where it looks really smooth and pretty. No, no. Heck with all that crap, right? So we've got our spear collider, we've got a mesh stuff, we've got a rigid body, which is kinematic, so it doesn't get affected by gravity. Collision, discrete, and it works pretty good. Now we have this script here, okay? And this script is very simple. Now, there is a few ways that you can do this. One is a translate way, which is the way that I'm using right now. And then there's another way which uses physics. Okay, so let's look at the code for this and everything, because there's going to be another method. This is the old way that I was doing it versus a new way. Okay, so let's look at the code for it exactly. Okay, I require a rigid body on this. Even though I don't use physics, I still want this rigid body in it, because in order to detect collisions and stuff like that in the physics system, you have to actually have a rigid body. And just the way it goes. So this is a regular mono behavior. There's no inheritance or anything like that. It's just a regular mono with some variables here. These variables will be cut out a lot because my system doesn't use tags. I use layers, which is a lot faster and a lot better in a way. Okay, so on enable, I invoke a method in a timer, which is fix bullets. Okay, and what fix bullets does is just disable the game object. Disable it, doesn't matter, blah blah blah, right? It's just turning the game object off. No biggie deal, nothing whatsoever. Simple. All right, so, and you're probably like, well, why did you choose this above start? Start would suck because it only happens one time. When this object is instantiated, pretty much the birth of the object, okay? So, what's the difference between start and enabled? Enabled works every single time my game object or this script is enabled, okay? Every single time for this component. And what that means is every single time my object puller goes, hey, are you disabled? It goes, yes, I'm disabled, I'm ready to shoot. It goes, hey, guess what? I move you to my position and go, bling, 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 bling. No, I'm just kidding. But it does its job, right? And on enable is called at the very start right here. Well, it's like, I'm disabled. Now I'm enabled. Yay! We and it's called. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry if I'm a little enthusiastic. I had lots of sugar. Lots of sugar. Okay? So, then the update starts working. Now, because of the way the physics system works and everything else, this script requires a rigid body because of collision detection. But I do not use physics in moving it. I use transform.translate. And in a recent video thing that Unity had for live training and stuff, translate just moves the game object. It bypasses the physics system. So this is good. And I kind of experimented with this anyway, and I found that this is less performant for what I want right now than using rigid body.add force at blah 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 per frame with a fixed update. A lot of people use fixed update and everything else, and that's fine. But this, I want an update. Because this doesn't matter. If we're getting lots of frames and everything else, guess what? It's fine by me. You know, it's frame rate dependent. It goes boom, boom, bam. Right? And I'm fine with it. And it just goes, translates. At the z-axis, at the speed, and times by time.delta time. Very simple. It bypasses the physics system, and I'm fine with that. But we have these strings here, and well, I don't really like using strings because the lookup's kind of expensive, and if you have lots and lots of collision all at the same time, then it gets a little pricey. But, and here's the thing that I don't like about on-trigger enter, because that's what I use, because it uses a collider and other. So it's looking for a collider, which is fine. That's what I want. And it doesn't matter about anything. It's always going to detect stuff that's here. So every game object that enters, whether it be this game object or it could be any object in the game that has a collider, it will detect it. So there's really no way of filtering out, which kind of sucks, right? It kind of sucks. I'm not really enthusiastic about that part, but I guess it works. And then we have this enemy compare tag thing. This is the game object.tag. Everyone uses it, and it's fine, but it kind of sucks because it looks up through a string, which is always slow when you do string stuff. It's always slow because it's got to go through and it's got to go, hey, is it match this, then this, then this, then this, and it goes clear out to the G part and does a whole bunch of compare. No, it kind of sucks, but it does work in a pinch, and it is one of the things that people use a lot, which is fine. But then we have these other things, which is send message, damage, and it doesn't specify a script or anything like that, which is great. I never, ever, ever want to go get component and do something. I just want to send a message. I don't want to specify what script it goes in. As long as it has a thing that says void damage and takes a float, it calls that function. Doesn't matter if it's in enemy manager, enemy data. If that game object that it hit, like let's say this bullet right here collides with another enemy. If it's tagged with enemy, if it matches the tag, enemy tag, well, guess what? They can kill their own enemies because they probably have a health script or some kind of damage script that calls up damage, and then it sends a float, and it's all sherote for that enemy. That's fine. That's great. But if I hit something and everything else, and it's got that tag, well, guess what? it goes send message, don't require receiver. So if it doesn't have that message, that void call anywhere inside that game object with all the scripts that's attached, it just ignores it all the way around. It doesn't care that it's never called. It just goes, hey, guess what? Ignored, throw you in the shooter, you're gone. Which is fine by me. I'm great with that because it's like, what, a few words of code? Now, if we were to do it the other way, we would have to do, oh, well, it'd be other dot game object dot, oh, no. It would be something like this. It would be health object temp, right, equals other dot game object dot get component health object, and then we casted it to that. So now we got to go temp dot add damage, and we put damage is our float, and we have a damage call, right? It gets the component and everything else. Well, guess what? Because this could be any damage thing, we have to make sure that this script exists. Or we have to go down here and go, if temp does not equal null, if it's not null, then guess what? Then we finally do damage. So we have this big old line right here versus this line. And this is very easy to understand. Oh, it's calling damage, calling the float. Doesn't require anything, so there we go. Versus this. This is cleaner. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. Yes, it's kind of an older way and all that. Yeah, blah. Who cares? It works. Go with it. If it works, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's great. Now, as for the tagging system here, well, guess what? I don't like this method. It works and everything, and this is pretty much the bullet. But I'm going to show you another way of doing it, and it's going to be awesome. Well, let's get into Unity, and we will see what's going on here. All right. So, we have this default. We have layers here. Well, layers is 32 bits. This is actually an enum. So, in this bullet script, we can specify what layer it collides with and does stuff, which is freaking great. I'm not going to lie, it's freaking awesome. Because this is faster. Because this is enum built in and it's fixed to 32. Well, guess what? This also becomes an integer. Yes, an integer versus a string. Anytime you deal with integers, it's faster to search through 100 integers before like a 5-letter word. So we get away from the strings and we can deal with different kinds of collisions. So this code right here can go bye-bye. Now, for the great thing that we've already discussed, and this is the code that I pretty much just trashed, and we open game layers. Now, because we already have layers and everything else, we have a enemy layer, a tower layer, and everything. So, in our game, we have to do two things. One, we must make sure the enemy temp is in the enemy layer, which he is. Enemy layer, bullets, and all that stuff. Okay, enemy layer, and we're just going to take this tag out. We don't even care. Nope, done. So enemy layer is what layer? It is layer 8. Alright, So, layer 8 it is. We go into our code here, and we go, hey, I know the enemy layer is 8. Don't know why this says 0, but it's going to say 8 now, because I know, what, tower layer? Why does that say 8? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and keep this 0, but I'm going to put it in tower layer, and I'm going to research why I put this in layer 8 here. Or do I even use enemy layer? You know what? Let's see if we even use enemy layer. I bet you we don't even use enemy layer. No, we do not. This is the only place that is called. So, why is tower layer in there? Okay, we have tower layer. We have two things. Game object layer, this, and this. So, let's open the first one. Tower layer. Okay, set tower layer. I'm cool with that. Alright, so that's, ooh, no. Cancel. Don't want that. Okay, so what's the other ones? Alright, the other one is in the same script. Okay, that's fine. Now, enemy layer. Okay, so basically everything for tower layer is in here. So we could change this. Tower layer, be 0. We don't care. Okay, enemy layer, we don't call. So, guess what? It's going to be 8 now. Alright, so we got our constants in here, and they are on the proper layers, and we're doing good, right? So, in our tower bullet, we had this game object stuff here, and this stuff. Well, watch this. If other dot game object dot layer equals game layers dot enemy layers, or it's equal, yeah, that's right, equal, then guess what? We do this code, and there you go. Alright, but it gets better. It gets better. Alright, we could do something a lot differently here. Now, this is hard-coded, so this script will always hit stuff that's on the enemy layer, which kind of sucks, okay? Not gonna lie, it's not exactly enthusiastic, don't like it, and we should change it, okay? So, instead of this public string, we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna go, instead of enemy tag, we're gonna go enemy layer, okay? Which is an integer, equals, we're gonna say 8. Alright, so now we've got a integer, change it, that goes to layer 8. Okay, so now all we gotta do is copy this. Instead of enemy tag, we do this, and guess what? Wait, what? Oh, why did it say oh, I didn't delete this. Bad. Bad war. Gotta delete the old code or whatever. So now all we gotta do is go here, delete this, and go enemy layer. Boom. So all we have to do is change this from the inspector to whatever layer it's supposed to go to. So now we have a bullet that will work on anything that we want. All we have to do is change the integer to what layer it is. So if it's enemy layers, that's 8, then we go 8. If it's enemy, us, we go to layer tower. Simple as that. So we don't have to do none of this stupid crap here, right? No, we don't. Okay? And we can go, bloop, done. Now fix my bullet if it collides with something. Well, now that becomes more of an issue. Because when this is called, it's checking for the enemy layer. Well, if it's not in the enemy layer, do we want it to continue? And the answer is probably yes. Because if it's not in our enemy layer, we should just let the bullet just keep going, right? Doesn't matter and everything. That way we don't have to worry about comparing a bunch of crap and just disgusting situations. So that's how you can do it from a layer. Now, before you go and go, oh, this is so crazy. Why is this so much better? Trust me, it is. Because the only thing that you have to worry about is one specific thing. Enemy layer. Boom. Done. Okay. Now in our bullets. What is our bullets on? Well, guess what? It's on the default layer. So it will completely forever ignore that crap. Now, if we go down here, wait a minute, I didn't save that. That's bullcrap. What? Okay. We shouldn't get no errors because I'm freaking what? What the? Inspecting a parentheses. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I got extra junk in there. It doesn't like it. Okay. I'll just save again. Come on. Try, hey, if you ever load yourself full of sugar and stuff like that, don't try to make a tutorial about like trying to explain something, because this is probably going to go terribly wrong for me. But who cares, right? So now we've got our tag layer like this, and all we have to do is make sure our enemies in our enemy tag and our towers are in the right taggy place, right? So I'm going to go down to prefabs, and guess what? Our towers are in towers. I don't even have to worry about any of that other garbage whatsoever. And now we have a bullet that's completely dependent on its own. Okay, it's awesome, right? All we have to do is change one single integer and we're good. So let's see if this works, or I completely broke this guy into anything. What? What did I break? Argument, same key exists in the dictionary. What the heck is this crap? What dictionary thing? Oh, yeah, in my one tutorial I made another game. Okay, let's just delete that. That was my bad there. Okay, so we are good now. What the shit? Where's this coming from? Tower. What? What the Oh, it's because I've got a different kind of kit in there and everything. Okay. I was like, what the crap's going on here? Alright. Now let's go full screen, maximize, and let's get this going. Alright. Come on, Sally. And we're going to go boom, 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 boom. And put some power down. And guess what? Look, they're still killing. Yeah, the bullets are still going. Even though my towers kind of suck because they're low grade ones and we need some awesome ones, it still works, right? And it's awesome like that. Plus, the great thing about it is, at runtime, if there's another, like let's say our enemies use these bullets, all we have to do is pass an integer into the bullet and change what it uses. Completely dependent. It's awesome, right? It's awesome. So we could have a true object pooling where everybody uses the same bullets. We just change the simple integer every single time we get a bullet, we just change that, and whether it be the enemy or the player, we will be able to use those bullets. Now, the good and bad thing is I've shown you 2 ways of doing this, and it's awesome. This way is very easy to kind of mess up, but not if you know what you're doing. And where's the enemies? I mean, Jesus. We need some enemies. We need some enemies. Where's all the enemies? This is actually kind of depressing that I don't have more enemies. Where is my enemies? Holy quoly! There's a lot of enemies on there. Okay, so they should all be coming, right? Rawr. Let's get us some bad guys. Oh yeah, they're all coming. Woo, woo. Yeah, there we go. This will get there in a minute. But, you know, like I said, now we have all these bullets that actually work for both player and enemy. And, you know, it's not very much code to change it over to a layer-like system and have it ignore stuff. So now, even though the bullet's traveling like through our towers, it will ignore the on collision enter thing. It won't execute any code comparison. Well, it does the comparison for the GameObject.layer, but that's relatively a lot quicker than the tag system. And I've experimented with it. Trust me, it works a lot better. And 2, it just, these towers suck, man. They can't shoot for nothing. They need better turn speed and stuff. Because by the time they fire and everything else, they just, it's already gone, right? They're like missing like crazy. And that's kind of the idea behind it anyway. Because these are the lowest towers that you could possibly have. Now imagine better towers, man. Give them some more turn speed and better accuracy. Oh man, that would be like the upgrade of upgrades. Go boom, 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 boom. Well, a lot of it would probably be a lot better if they didn't have so far of detection range. They need their detection range to be a lot shorter. Because look, this tower is shooting from that distance right there. If they waited till they was like right about here, they would probably freaking murderize that little guy. And 2, these guys are fixed with a fixed amount of health anyway. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things. Left hand, right hand, shake hands, you know, go around the tree and just say, hey, howdy doody. But that's bullets for you, and I hope you learned something. If you didn't, then, you know, you should watch the video again, because even though it's quite quickly, it's a great comparison and a great way of doing your bullets for your game, because it's a lot easier to manage. Now, thank you for watching. Like, hit, subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching my Sugar Rush of bullets. So, have a nice day.